Good evening. It's Penelope Flynn and the rest of your Blerdsassins Next Door here on Discussions from the Other Hood. And of course, we're here with Otto and Sonia. Soon to be expecting, I think, Nikki and Cranston. But with that way, here we are. And as I said, here comes Cranston. So here we are. And on this January 25th, 2025 edition of the show, tonight is supposed to be the night that all the planets supposed to line up. We should be able to see them. Unfortunately, I wanted to do something today, but then realized that where I am, that they said that you probably wouldn't be able to see it very well. We're not in the line for it. So I'm hoping that those who do have the opportunity get to take a look and see all the planets line up tonight, and that should be fun. I might try to look anyway and see if we can find it, even zigzag you a little bit to see if we can find that line. But we're here tonight, and we're going to be discussing on second thought, which is a topic that was brought up by Cranston regarding all those concepts and plans we have that seemed like a good idea at the time in many of our films and television shows, but somehow you don't turn out as well. So, ready to get started, and I guess since Otto, you're at top right, tell us about your weather.
I presume the weather was good. It looked pretty sunny and nice outside. The reason I say that is because I didn't really go out today. I've been dealing with a toothache, so I was inside. But it looked very nice out there for people who experience the weather.
Yeah, all right. And how about you, Cranston? How was your weather?
All week we have been under freeze warnings. Most days this week the temperature didn't get above 39.
Oh,
Today it was sunny. It did get up to 55, which was like tolerable, and it's supposed to go into a warming trend next week. But it's been fairly miserable all week.
wow. Snow, rain, anything like that? Well,
We
rain, I
did.
guess.
It didn't get cold enough to snow because the thing that'll keep us from seeing the alignment is it's been overcast all week, and they said that kept it from snowing here. But it did snow north of here. They did shut down sections of the interstate. And they generally told people even here, if you don't have to go somewhere, stay indoors.
Mm.
But other than
Sonya,
that, it's been pretty good.
oh, good. Other than that, shutting down the interstate, other than that, it's pretty good. Okay, Sonya, I know you all have cold, but did it get more tolerably cold?
It slowly got warmer, and I've been reveling in the fact that in the time the snow hit North Florida and Georgia and all of that, they actually got more snow than we did.
Wow.
So, we got our usual 2-ish inches of dusting and lake effect, but no, not as bad as they got it.
Yeah, but see, I have
But
relatives.
it's colder.
I have relatives in the Atlanta area, and they got snow. And Tallahassee too got snow.
Tallahassee got, depending on where you live, either 4 inches of snow or 2 inches of sleet.
Yeah, well, my sister got snow, and then it iced over. So it looked pretty still, but it was not crunchy, soft snow. It just
Yeah.
looked like it was.
Okay,
So
so how did they survive with all those hills?
don't leave
They
home.
didn't leave home except to go sledding.
Hmm.
Hmm. Yeah, just don't leave
And
home.
Panama City Beach, their white sand was covered with 2 inches of white snow.
I
Hmm.
wish I had seen the pictures
I'll
of
find them and send them to
Panama
you.
City, Pensacola Beach. I think that would be so neat, especially because, of course, the salt water, nothing's going to happen with that, but the beach itself, that
There's
would look
one,
really
yeah.
cool.
There's one photo of you can tell this beach ball had been in sand, but when the snow hit it, it kind of just froze right there.
Wow.
So
Wow.
it froze to the sand.
That is cool. I'm looking forward to it. I think that when you loved, I mean, it's like I went, we took our family vacation in January, early January. But man, it would have been cool to be somewhere like in Pensacola on a beach watching it snow. That must have been crazy, crazy. So yeah. So now, Cranston, as I was saying earlier, that you kind of tipped us off on this topic.
Hmm.
Basically, we have named it on second thought. based on your position that sometimes we, in our horror thriller type films and television shows, make these plans, which, on second thought, probably didn't seem like it was the best plan. And I don't know if anybody has seen Nosferatu yet. We saw it today, and Otto was like, "Yeah, this is definitely a film that falls under this category, this heading." So I don't want to give away all of our things to Nosferatu for those who have not seen it yet. But I know there are other films and television shows out there. So Cranston, what was it which shows films brought this topic to mind for you?
Well, there's a line in Stephen King's nonfiction, one of his nonfiction books, Danse Macabre, where he discusses horror in general. And he was saying that the question you always ask yourself is, why do people in horror movies always do really dumb things? And his response was, it's because they are in horror movies. Or it's like this net series called Pitch Meetings, where it's this a writer pitching these movies, current movies or past movies sometimes, to this producer, and they're asking each other these questions about, well, this doesn't make sense, so why did they do this, that, and the other? And the writer will just say, because, or we needed to get the plot going, or something like that. So sometimes these things are done because they have to happen, or people do things that are really dumb because it's required of them. But even as you're sitting there looking to see if there's any more popcorn left in the bottom of that big bucket that you thought was going to last the whole movie, that you begin to say, no, that's not a good idea. So that was what brought it up. And then I was thinking about the things that happen in movies that are automatic. And we don't know it's because if the writers who consume this stuff too pick up on these dumb ideas. Like one of the things that get me is in shows where something weird happens every week, but something happens that's so weird that it takes everybody out of their comfort zones, whatever. But you say to yourself, but that's not as bad as what happened last week. Or the thing that they do is somebody will call somebody somewhere and they said, you need to come and take a look at this. And he says, what is it? Says, no, just get down here. Why can't you just tell them what it is you want them to see? Don't you think they'll be even more likely to come and check it out if you do that?
Yeah.
So it's those things that happen, always the idea that people say, let's split up. We can cover more ground that way. Well, I mean, you're on the clock, you're getting paid by the hour. I mean, what is it? So it doesn't. And something that happened once, one of my extended family members is in medical research. And I mentioned to her, the one thing that always took me out is in movies that you will have this something that might be a cure, or it might be something even worse than that. And rather than, you don't know what's going to happen when you use this stuff. And instead of trying it on, a laboratory animal or somebody you don't like or something like that, you try it on yourself. And she said, well, she kind of went along with that because having assisted with producing it, she would know what's in it. And I'm thinking, yeah, but you still don't know what it's going to do. But, it's this thing about in desperation or whatever and stuff, like the Green Goblin decides to take whatever the Goblin formula was, and then he decides to double up on it later after seeing how bad it was the first time around. So those are kind of things that you would say, okay, I did this once, I'm not going to ever do that again, So that's what kind of prompted that. Then you looked and found everywhere there were those things that didn't do it. And one of my favorites was on Gilligan's Island. Who would be the first person that they would kill? I mean, would it be the skipper and Gilligan for like getting them lost? Would it be for the millionaires who probably could not end up being equal to the people that would be serving them all of a sudden? They would be making impossible demands and wouldn't I don't ever remember seeing the Howells doing any of the chores on the island. They didn't go and collect fruit or anything like that. Would you get the professor for not figuring out how to, figure out where they were or signaling a passing plane or something like that? So there always had a thing that they should have done on Lost, that they should have had them wandering around on the island and finding a recreation of the Gilligan Island village and found all these bodies that were scattered over there where they just slaughtered each other because, after that second year, they just couldn't take it anymore or something.
I would think if in your Gilligan's Island scenario, if I were there, I guess I would think, okay, who has the least ability to contribute to anything? And like you said, it seems like the Howells doesn't look like they do too much hard work. But, Ginger doesn't appear to do too much work either. And I'm sure she probably eats more than Mrs. Howell. So I don't know. It's a toss up between Ginger and Mrs. Howell. Oh, for me, it would
Wait,
be.
why do you say Ginger eats more? I don't.
She's bigger and she's younger.
She's big.
Yeah, and I think she would need more food to sustain her curves.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, which, I mean, neither of them appears to do too much work. So I would think Ginger or Mrs. Howell. Mr. Howell, what? Actually, he should probably be higher on the list because he doesn't do anything and he probably eats more than Ginger. So
Hmm.
yeah, probably Mr. Howell. Mr. Howell actually is the one that would go.
Yeah, because you need Marianne to cook for you.
What about
Yeah,
Gilligan?
well, at least Gilligan can do stuff, physical labor.
What can he do? But then without effing it up.
I don't know, but he can still do physical labor. So I would keep him around before I kept Howell.
Nah, I
Yeah,
killed
you'd
it.
have them draw straws, but you'd kind of make sure who got the shortest straw. Here, just pick one. No, not
Yeah,
that one. Pick one
I
next
got
to that
the
one.
other one. Yeah. So yeah. And so I mean, but I guess if you think about the show, Gilligan's Island is just like a comedy of errors of what you don't do. Bad ideas. Consistent bad ideas. I had not watched the shows probably for decades, but I pretty much, it's all kind of the same if you remember them.
Well,
Because
you tell yourself, okay, this was before they had GPS. This was before they had that other thing that they tell boats to carry with you in case you sink, that it automatically sends out a signal and all of that. So we'll give them a break for that. But they did have compasses. They did have maps. Um, they had to know how far they could go on whatever fuel they had on the boat. There wasn't a sailboat, so
Nope.
they could have figured out kind of where we were and got an idea. They never even put a message in a coconut and put it out there, hoping it floated into a shipping lane somewhere or something.
Yeah, one thing that got me is how many times someone else showed up on the island and then left.
And
And they
didn't tell anybody about, yeah, but you're bringing these
follow
people out
them.
here.
They didn't follow them. They didn't grab them. They didn't, show, no, you're not leaving here without us.
Mm.
So that's the thing that always got me. You have people that came and they left, and you let them leave without, grabbing their boat or following them or what. Yeah, so that's the thing that always bothered me.
Or
Pin
take
a
one
note.
of us with you, yeah.
Pin a note to their clothes.
Right, something.
I like
Something.
my favorite one was the guy who was there, and actually told them there are people on an island stranded, but because he had fallen and had a bump on their head, they thought it was a concussion-induced dream that he had,
There we
and
go.
nobody noticed how well he had been eating and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or you would think that he would have described at least a couple of the people, and there had to be like a missing poster or something, or a milk carton with their pictures on the back
I guess
somewhere.
they weren't doing that back then. They were putting people in the
Yeah.
back of little cartons.
Well,
Back.
with the Howells, you think they would have,
Well, that's
since they
true
were
too.
so
The
rich.
houses are missing, and I mean, but
Yeah, who would travel? They were doing something because who would travel with that much money?
right.
Well, on
It
the
might.
other hand, you got to figure that if I was an heir to the Howell fortune, it would kind of be in my best interest to get them declared dead as soon as possible. But
Mhm. Yeah.
Not if they took on the money with them.
Didn't they have a kid?
Yeah, they had a son. and when they had the reunion one, but I was like, wait, the son looks like how long they've been gone. So wait a minute,
Yeah,
they
so
left
yeah,
a brand new baby
He's
back in
not mine.
Hawaii.
as
He's
old
not
as they
my
were.
son.
Come on. I mean,
Kid,
well,
he's
you know
not
what though?
my
But think
son.
about it. I was watching what is it? Beverly Hillbillies the other day. Yes, that happens. And they had an episode where the Thurston Howell the third's son, they're trying to get him hooked up with Ellie Mae. And so they say, oh yeah, his son, blah blah blah, is going to be here. And they bring this guy there. I'm like, yeah,
You
so,
mean, you mean Mr.
marrying her,
Drysdale? Mr.
Mr.
Drysdale.
Drysdale. I'm sorry, what did I say?
Thurston Howell.
No, Mr.
Oh,
Drysdale's son. My God, it's like this guy's like old to be Ellie Mae's dad. This guy is like, where'd he come from? And then it's
Mm.
like, oh, he's not Thurston Howell's son. He is Thurston Howell's wife's. I mean, there's a Mr. Drysdale's wife's son. And so I said, wow, I had no idea that she even had kids before she got with him. Isn't that crazy?
Mm.
It's California, so it's all kind of weird.
Okay. Yeah, so I thought that was very weird that Miss Drysdale apparently had a son before she married Mr. Drysdale. And apparently, she's also Mr. Drysdale's mother, because she has to be that old, have that old child.
Would you like to be in that in the writers' room, coming up with that script?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
just
like,
I mean, whenever they want to do something, they just add somebody's. All of a
yeah,
sudden, somebody got a son or daughter, or
yeah. It's like, wait, where did this guy come from? And
Well,
he's, I mean, really, really.
that's the thing. Soap operas for years that you end up with these grown children from people that wonder where did they come from and where have you been for the last 20
Right,
years?
right, right, exactly. Last 20 years, where have you been? Now all of a sudden you come out of the woodwork.
that and
I am,
twins.
yeah, oh yeah,
Apparently, you have no idea you had a twin.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, your
yeah. There was
parents.
only one instance that I went. Then the person didn't know she had a twin, but because they would split up the babies when they were born, so nobody knew there were twins.
Uh,
That happens a lot.
yeah,
Yeah, on
it happens.
soap operas.
But I was thinking of something interesting. We were saying these things like, okay, we're gonna split up. Okay, we're going uh to go for the vampire,
Well,
at
stop
night.
that. Stop right there, Penelope. Stop right there.
Yes.
The splitting up thing. What is that? Is it because the movie is only like a certain amount of minutes long? And
Uh-huh.
so why split up?
Yeah, but I think about this. I don't know why they split up. But I was talking to one of my sons the other day, and he is a developing comedian. So he's doing his sketch that he was going to work on, and I was telling him we got to slow it down because you got to give people time to get it right. I was saying how it was that I saw this thing years ago about gymnastics, where the gymnasts, they're doing their routine, their floor exercise. They do this, that, and the other thing, and then when they get ready to their tumbling pass, they stop, stand there for a second, and then do the tumbling pass. And I said, why do they do that? Why just, do the thing? Everybody knows, what they're going to do. All the judges and stuff, I guess, have seen the routine. And they say you stop because you need to give the judges an opportunity to know that this is where the tumbling pass is going to occur. So be aware, focus, because this is the big tumbling pass. And so I think sometimes these things are put in films for that purpose. It's like the big tumbling pass that say, hey, okay, guys, let's split up because something's getting ready to happen, and this is like a marker to say the tumbling pass is coming up now. All right, let's split up because now something's going to happen. So we say this to let you know that you should be aware, watching. Something important is getting ready to occur. I don't know if I'm correct on that, but I think that may be part of it. Don't you think? Otherwise, why continue to do it? I mean, it's like such a trope. Why continue to do it?
Because
Well,
they've always done it.
Right,
well,
but
it's
but why? Hmm.
it's that, and also the fact that you have to find a way to put somebody else in jeopardy. If they weren't in enough jeopardy already and stuff, we're going to do something else where they're going to come back and says, "Where'd you get those bite marks on your neck?" Oh, mosquitoes,
and put them in jeopardy in a different way. So it's like
Yeah.
having multiple movies, right?
Hmm.
So you split up in groups of 3 or whatever to look for Penelope because she's missing. So we
Right.
split up in groups of 3. So each encounter that the group has its own involvement and tension and all that other stuff.
But even in real life, before we had cell phones, and you could just call somebody to find out where are you in the store. If you lost somebody in the store, how often did you actually split up and see where they went, and somebody came back with the person that you all were looking for?
I don't know. I would immediately something like that happened to me. I would, go to the manager and say, call them to come to a certain place. I
Mm-hmm.
would not just
Because
split
you're
up and
smart.
go with them.
Because you're smart. But I remember as kids splitting up, doing that stuff. Like if somebody got
Hmm.
misplaced in a store, something like a huge department store, we split up, and then they come back. Hey, I found Bob or whatever. So it
Yeah,
does work, in daylight time, but not at night in horror
yeah,
movies.
yeah. But in fact, I think in a horror movie situation, like we were talking about, the going to look for the vampire at night, and that's just one of them, and that they always have the situation where I'm going to go look for someone. I'm going to go do something
At
at the
night,
same time that the individual or the monster, whoever, has this advantage over
at
me.
at its peak, at the vampire's peak strength.
Right. Why would or when you're going to the creature of the Black Lagoon, why am I going to go get him in the water? I mean, I know he's pretty
Yeah,
formidable on land, but I'm certainly not going to get in the water where he can drown me. At
Mm-hmm.
least on land, it's just 50-50 or 60-40. I might be able to kill him. He might be able to 60% be able to kill me. But you know what? Underwater, I'm at a 100% disadvantage. Why would I go after the monster in the water?
Oh, because I'm smarter than the monster is.
There must be something. Because those things like that.
yeah. And here's the thing
Hmm.
though, if
Hmm.
he's in the water, leave his ass there.
Mm,
And
yes.
if he comes out on land, get him and
Get him.
keep him from getting back in the water because he's like a fish, right? He has a limited
Yes.
amount of time
Yes,
outside the
yes.
water.
Right. But I'm not going to get him in the water. I'm not going to go after him in the
No,
water in
hell
his
no. Leave his
habitat.
ass in there. Leave his ass in the
He can
water.
stay there. I'm not fighting you down there. I mean, anything you've got on, any type of helmet, he can rip it out somehow,
Mhm.
puncture it, uh, cause you to rip off your hose for your air supply. So why do that? I mean, this doesn't even, and God forbid the ones who jump in with nothing. They jump in the water and get no, just
Well, I like
mm-mm.
the women who jump in with figure hugging bikinis on.
Hmm. Nothing else. How do you intend to survive this monster attack? You
Right.
know, it's insane.
Well, what it's like? It's like when in New York, when Bellevue is in New York City. That's where a lot of the
Hmm.
criminally insane people, some of them back in the day, were,
Hmm.
were held. And every once in a while, for some reason, it just seemed like a lot.
Hmm.
Somebody would escape, and they show the picture of this guy. The worst picture this guy's ever taken. It looks like he didn't haven't shaved in like a year or something, or his hair's all scraggly. And that's when my mom would say, "Hey, I forgot some kidney beans. I need to go to seafood
Right now,
right now." It's like
they
that
they just
bitch.
told us this maniac is
This is
loose.
a horror movie.
Yeah, yeah. The maniac is loose, and we
Yeah,
need to go now out in the world where the maniac is.
right. It's like that Tales from the Crypt movie
Hmm.
where Joan
Yeah.
Collins kills her husband.
Yes.
Yeah, then that maniac in a Santa Claus suit does his
Yes.
thing.
Hmm.
It's like, and then he comes knocking on the door, and
Hmm.
and it's like in that particular story in the comic book and in the movie, it's like there are ways for you to avoid. I mean, you could have, you know. I mean, I'm not giving up anything that's a
Yes, it's a very
surprise.
old film.
Yeah, but it's like, it's like you could have blamed your husband's death on that
Yeah.
maniac.
Yeah, maniac came in here, did that stuff, ran out the door.
Yeah, and you know what
Yeah,
you could have done?
and called the cops.
You could have gotten your kid, your daughter, and y'all could have left the house and left the door open, let that maniac have at it.
Yeah, yep. Run out, take your kid, run out, jump in the car, and drive off. But no, that made too much sense.
Yeah.
No, I
Well,
want to commit the perfect murder. I want somebody to write about it in the
Yeah,
annals of
I gotta
history.
clean up. I gotta clean up
Yep,
in that story. Joan cleans up the blood and
yep,
he washes. Why? There's a
yep.
maniac
Just
loose.
say, maniac jumped in my house and did all this craziness. Oh my goodness. Simple, right? Right? So
yeah.
yeah. On second thought, should not have cleaned up after the murder scene. Should have just left said murder scene with my child and the insurance policies and
Hmm.
headed on
Yeah,
out. You know?
yeah.
Yes. And when I came home,
Look at this mess.
No, I'm afraid to come home because I think
Hmm.
that maniac has got into the house,
That's right.
and I drove
I
by the
called the
house and I said, "Oh
cops.
my
Yeah.
God, my house is open. What's going
Yeah,
on
I
with
heard
my
on the radio there's a
husband?"
maniac and the door's open. I have my daughter with me. I was scared to go in, so I figured I better come get the cops.
well,
The end.
well, the other thing is whenever somebody dangerous is on the loose, why do they have to tell you if you see this person, do not try to apprehend them, call the police
They
when you're
do that
going,
all the
Uh-huh.
time.
Because
"Yeah,
I'm
I'm
not
going to go
catching
try
it.
to
I'm not
apprehend
trying to
them.
catch nobody.
yeah."
That's what I'm going to do. I see a maniac, raving lunatic, and I figure, yeah, I'm going to get that guy. The
Hmm.
cops have not been able to get him yet, but
But
I
you know
think
what though?
I will be able to.
When people escape from Bellevue, that's what they said.
Do not.
So you don't have
Yeah.
to tell me not to apprehend Son of Sam. I'm all right.
Yep, I pretty
I'm
much
not trying to catch.
determined I was not going to. Even if
Hmm.
you suggested that I try, I wasn't going to. So yeah, that's an incredible thing.
I'm not that. And the other thing is, like when people come upon a scene and there's
Hmm.
some liquid on the floor or something.
Oh my gosh, please don't. Please don't say it. That's the worst. So those individuals succeed.
Why do they have to taste it?
Yes, who does that? Who does that? Oh, it's blood. You can
Or
smell it
this
and
doesn't taste
determine that
like
it's blood,
blood.
or does it taste like blood? But oh no, does
Why
it
did they
blood
have to
taste
put
like
their hand? Why
poison?
did they have to put their hand in it?
Why would you touch it? Why would you say it could be anything? It's something that you
Hmm.
smell and kills you. Why would you touch it? Why don't you say, "Hey, Joey, mark this spot. Have somebody come in and test this."
And that happens all the time.
And it's
All
like
the time.
it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. I don't understand why they continue doing this, in films. It is just ridiculous.
Or they'll tell you what it tastes like.
But why are you tasting it? I don't understand. I don't get it. You don't know what it is. Why
Well,
would you taste it?
you could be so good you can say, yeah, this is B positive.
Yeah, only if you do that, but then it could also be poisoned and it could kill you.
Yeah.
So why do it?
Or burn your
Or just or,
fingers.
or
I
you know
mean,
what? And
they
just
put their
beyond that,
hands
it's just
in.
nasty. Okay, it's just nasty. Don't do it.
Or
Okay.
I mean, they use their hands. They don't use a glove or anything
Nope.
else.
They touch it with their bare hands
And they put it in their mouths.
in their mouths and say, this is blood.
Well,
Blood.
I had a friend of mine who was an EMT,
Hmm.
and that says, what do y'all do if you answer a case and you see somebody who's on the floor, twitching and foaming at the mouth and all of this? And she said, well, I'm going to tell you what we really do is we just kind of stand around and say, I don't know if you're going to make it.
That's awful.
That's horrible.
No, but I think that if you get somebody like that, I figure the first thing you're going to do is probably tie them down or something. I
Mm.
certainly wouldn't want them doing something that could kill me while I'm trying to help them,
But can we go back to one thing again, though?
Yes, yes.
I really need someone to explain to me.
Hmm.
Like we saw Nosferatu today. Someone
Don't give it away
explain to
now.
me. I'm not giving anything away because it's the same every vampire movie.
Well, sure.
What the
Okay.
hell is going on with this nighttime vampire hunting?
Why did you go get them at night? Why can't you just say, "Hey,
If
it's
you know
9
all the
a.m.
rules,
Let's
if
get
you
them"?
know all the vampire rules,
Right.
why are you hunting them why don't you have everything that you need? Is it that
At,
the
at
vampire
9 a.m.
you can't plan? Is what's going on?
It
Well,
was
that's
9.
because during the day is when you have to go to Home Depot and Lowe's and get your steaks and the
Yeah,
mallet and everything.
but they open at 6.
Yeah. Well.
Just like you can get all your stuff. And if, in
Hmm.
fact, how about this? Let's give it to you. It takes you 6 hours to get everything that you need together. But now it's high noon. Okay,
Hmm.
isn't this a good time now to go vampire hunting? High noon,
Yeah.
It
sun
would
high in
Well,
the
be,
how about
sky.
but
this? How
it
about
would
this?
be, but my story comes on at 1 o'clock. So after
Right.
that,
Okay.
we'll go and look. We'll go out
Okay,
then.
all right.
How about this? How about this? How about the vampires in the he, she, they vampires are in there. They're in daytime. They can't
Mm-hmm.
come out.
Mm-mm.
You get some gasoline. You set the whole thing on fire.
Yep.
And then they come running out. The sun will get them.
Yep.
And you can just sit in a lounge chair and just watch it happen.
Yeah. Wait it out. Wait it out. See, and if by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the place all burned down. Now it's time to go through the ashes and
Mm.
make sure that everything's dead.
No, you
So
don't go through the ashes. No, Penelope. You get
mhm.
a bunch of cement trucks and you pour and you seal and you salt the earth
Yeah, that sounds good
and
too.
you
I
put a
like it.
big fence around it and say, "Do not enter
Hmm.
hazmat
Yeah.
territory."
Mm.
Now, man, I'm sorry. I have to go in and go through the ashes and make sure everything's dead.
See, that's
Then
why you're
I
gonna
will
get
salt the
killed.
earth.
That's the killing
No,
part of it.
no,
Yeah,
no.
sifting
I mean,
through. Did you
look.
not see the Bride of Frankenstein?
I'm going. Look, I'm going
Did you not see the
in
Bride
at
of
high noon.
Frankenstein?
Okay,
Did
I'm
you
not
not see the
waiting till
Bride of Frankenstein?
nighttime. Hmm?
You saw the Bride of Frankenstein
Yes,
when they sorted through the ashes
yes.
and the monster was there.
No, he was down. He wasn't
Right,
there.
but he
He
was
was
in the
down.
ashes. They fell through, and Hans and his wife were both killed.
Yeah, but they were over there doing stuff they shouldn't have been doing.
Well,
That's not for
this was
them.
something I thought of when they were showing, as they do on those
Hmm.
shows and stuff. They were showing the original Frankenstein. And I'm thinking about, well, I know his fiance knew what he was really doing, and I guess this guy who's his
Hmm.
best friend really knew, but his
Hmm.
father had no idea what was going on. So they didn't say, well, maybe you do need to go and get him and look after him or something like that. And then when they started hunting for the monster, that Frankenstein became part of one of the search parties. And I'm thinking about it. Well, shouldn't he been a little nervous or something like that, knowing that they're looking for something that he did? And it reminded me of this T-shirt that says, "I will kill you, put you in the trunk of my car, and then join the search party looking for you." That's kind of what he was doing with that. So,
Well, yeah. And what did we see? Uh, there are other types of things that are kind of like that. I think.
That happened in real life.
Mhm. Yeah, because
There's
people do that.
people who are actual murderers go out searching for the body
Yeah, so always be careful about that.
because I maybe because they want to send the search party in the wrong direction or something.
Right? I would say they want to guide the search away from where they are. Maybe.
Or maybe they're fucking crazy and just want to
Yeah,
do
there's
that.
some
That's part
giddy
of their thing.
glee. Yeah.
or
That's part
you
of their
knew,
thing.
okay, I dropped my keys out here somewhere, so I'll help look.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Chris, for that one. But yeah, those
yeah, but
that
don't search
yeah.
through ashes.
You wouldn't sift through the ashes to make sure everybody's dead.
No, no, nope. I put a big wrought iron garlic rose
Yeah, I
stake
guess you grow
fencer
garlic on
on it, and
top
then
of it.
Mhm.
So that's the
I
thing.
put a
Like
security
the
detail.
garlic field, huh?
I put a security detail outside it,
Hmm.
make sure nobody can get in or out.
Yeah, like Jeepers Creepers, the second one, where the
Yeah,
guy goes there to where the thing is, and it's like every 7 years or something. And so he goes out there like right before, and he sits in his chair with a shotgun in his lap, waiting, you know. And when the thing opens up,
Yeah, just wait.
get rid of it
Yep.
right then. I'm not gonna
Right.
wait to fight it in the time. I'm gonna get it when I know that it's at its most vulnerable and kill
Yeah.
right then. I'm not
Yep.
gonna wait for anything else to happen. It's right here
Yep.
with the
Well,
gun. Hmm?
well, similar to that, there was something that I thought was really dumb, and when you're sitting there, it takes you out of the movie. You said, "No, this is really dumb," and I think it was Thor: The Dark World, where it starts out where the whoever the bad guys are have this thing and stuff that's going to destroy everything, and the good guys get it. So rather than them destroying it, they said, we're just going to hide it over here, and then they'll never find it, knowing that all of these beings are immortal. So if you're immortal, you got a lot of time to look.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, they may not find it this week, but that's not to say what'll happen. You know, this week. 100,000 years from now.
Yes, yeah.
Also in vampire films, why is it that when at nighttime people just decide to leave their windows open, and if you're female, if you're a woman, you decide that that's the night you're going to wear your most flimsy nightgown.
Well, in their defense, because this was like the turn of the 18th century, they didn't have central heat and air. So you had to open the window to get a breeze going. So,
I
You know,
mean, not a normal window,
know
like
what?
one of those big windows, like
Yeah.
a whole body can like walk through, not even climb through. Like you just
yeah. But that's why
But
you
that brings
think,
to mind the other show. What is it called? Where the people were driving around and they passed by the tree and all the crows were flying in the air. I cannot remember the name of it, but it's like, what is it called?
what is it, them or something, or
Them, or we were there, or we're from
something?
here, or something.
Yeah.
From,
From
from. And okay, all right. Everybody in this town knows that the monsters come at night, right? And they can come in your house and they can come through your windows. But if you nail your windows shut, even like it's a glass window, right? They can't come in. So why at night, if people have a child with a room upstairs, a bedroom window that is not nailed shut, and why the mom is like, oh no, the
listen?
father didn't nail the window shut. You got
Why would you?
hands?
Why would
You
you
got
put your
hands?
child? Why would you put your child in a room that has a window?
Yeah. I mean, the thing is like,
Why
why is
have a
your
window?
child?
Talking about window, I would get in the daytime. I would get like a bunch of bricks
Yep,
and brick up
brick
the whole.
my windows
We don't
in.
need any more windows in this damn house.
But the thing is, you have a child and they move into these houses like a normal, like prairie style home. Why are you not all sleeping in the same room?
Big picture frame windows.
Well, I mean, it's like, why are you not all sleeping in the same room? I mean, I don't understand why your child needs to have their own bedroom. In the scary world,
And
in
with a
scary
window,
world, we sleep in the same room
with a window
every
that
night.
I mean, you could take the boards off the window.
Yeah, it should, or like this. There are all these people that live in that city, right? This town.
Mhm.
We can't go from house to house and put what do you call those things? Shutters. What's called
Mhm.
shutters with the, like in the old days had the what do you call it? The 2x4 or plank,
No,
crossing in
no,
front of to
no.
keep it closed. Nobody,
Penelope,
nobody, nobody can do that.
no, Penelope. You don't need the shutters. In my world, you brick the damn windows up like it's the house is getting ready
Yeah,
to get torn down. You brick it up
yeah.
because you know why? Because
Hmm.
boards and shutters and stuff, they could fly open. People can manipulate them. Nobody
Yeah,
tearing down no bricks.
this is true. I mean, it should be like, what's the name of that? Like you have like those prison windows. We only have like
Mhm.
an opening, like one brick open, so you can look,
Mhm.
and put your gun through it. That's all you need.
Not even that.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's crazy that you have a window, any window in your house, under the circumstances that are going on, that is not nailed shut. If you didn't want to nail them all shut, no window opens in this home.
Mhm.
Why would any window be able to be opened? Why? It just made no sense. That to me, it's like, so on second thought, why don't we have the child live downstairs with us in our bedroom? On second thought, why don't we just nail all these windows shut? On second thought, as Otto says, Why brick the whole goddamn thing
Yeah,
up?
why have
Mhm.
Every
windows?
window,
Yeah,
all
yeah,
of them bricked
yeah.
up. I mean, it didn't make any sense
At
to me.
night, all right. Go in
Hmm.
your basement. You got a basement. Go in there. There's no
Uh huh.
windows in there.
Yep.
Go sleep in that wine cellar that you built.
Yeah. Or even if you're gonna sleep on the first floor, because then they had some of that funny business going on in the basements. If you're gonna sleep, on your first floor, I'm sorry, I am sleeping. I'll have my car. Well, the cars didn't work, right? Well, I guess they ran out of their gas or whatever. So, I mean, they didn't have any vehicles that really were useful to them because all they could do is drive around in a circle. But I mean, I don't understand not having every window in every house. Well, I mean, just what you call it, just
Bricked up. It
nailed
needs to
shut,
be bricked.
nailed
It
shut.
needs to be
I mean,
bricked. And the thing is also, when the monsters get ready to come or about to come,
hmm
this is the perfect time for you and I to have sex.
yes. Why not? Why not? So we can be completely focused on each other and not on the peril that is going on all around us that
That's
could
right.
possibly kill
Let's
us.
get
Yeah.
totally let's get totally nude and have
Yep.
sex with each other because
Ye-
the, all this paraphernalia that I have to get monsters away is turning me on.
Yeah, so on second thought, however, maybe we should keep that to a minimum. Just limit our cooking up like that to the daylight hours. How about
Mhm.
that? Cook it in the daylight hours. That makes sense, right? So
Nobody in movies have sex in the daytime. You know,
all you gotta do is, like you said, brick up them windows. How do you know the difference? Right? Looks like night inside. It's just
no, you
fine.
want to have sex at night so I can't see my partner. That's why at night.
Okay, then like I said, brick up the windows, like you said, and we'll all be fine. Just like nighttime. You don't have to see the or
Mhm.
get you a blindfold. Get you, so you won't have to see anything. But that is another ridiculous trope of let's hook up at the time when it's most likely that we're going to get a visit from a monster or something else
Especially
that will kill
slasher
us.
films,
Yeah,
and teenagers, right?
yeah.
Well, there was the other thing they did in was it Prometheus, where when they've got uh, the xenomorphs running around and everything, and they're back on the spaceship and everything, and they decided let's take a shower together. Nobody's going to hear. We're not going. We'll hear whatever's coming in over the running water, and yeah, that worked.
I think it's like, but why do that? I mean, I'm sorry. Like in your lifetime, you never took like a bath cloth, a basin of water, and just washed yourself off in a basin with your gun sitting next to it, so you could go for it and something else happened.
No, I need to
You
be
know,
totally clean.
yeah, that's right.
I need to make sure every part of my body is clean because I'm getting ready to have sex.
Oh, I
It's
mean, they
like
keep saying
Austin
it. Yeah,
Powers says, no twig and berries and everything. You have to
okay.
be, yeah,
That's
okay.
right. I
So,
need to be totally clean so I can
Hmm.
have sex while the monster is outside,
Yes.
lingering outside, or it,
Yep.
or I'm sleeping in a tent. I'm having sex in the tent, and the monster is lingering outside in a slasher film.
Yeah. It's like, I'm sorry, I'm not sleeping. I maybe have a tent. I'm not going to be in it, you
mhm.
know, because that tent is just bait so that I can watch the monster come and then get the drop on him, her, or it. That's that's
Yeah, I
Mhm.
that's
mean,
what's happening.
think about Psycho. Does anybody feel safe when you go somewhere and you take a shower and you're totally,
Yeah,
vulnerable, right? You make sure your door to your hotel room is fully locked, and you make
yeah,
sure your bathroom door is locked. You gotta,
yeah,
you know, it's just like Psycho has messed up people's ability to take showers freely. Like, you don't leave the door open. Oh my God, I gotta get the soap out of my eyes quick.
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. Well, actually, I mean, anywhere I am by myself where I don't know the location I'm in, whatever it is I've got, the first thing I'm doing is turning around and make sure my door is locked. You know, that I'm locked in and nobody else is coming in behind me, even if for some bizarre reason someone has a key. then I flip the other lock so that may open, but it can't open all the way, and they can't get in.
Or you
So
put out there, do not disturb sign. No, I really mean it. Do not disturb.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't
yeah.
need any housekeeping. I'm
Nope,
good.
I don't need anything. Don't come
Yeah.
in here. So yeah, those things like that. And I tell you, I think it's again like I said, but the things I get that drive me the most insane is the vampire thing is bad enough, but anything where you are on someone else's turf in their environment and you put yourself in peril to go after them in their environment. Like I said, Creature of the Black Lagoon, yeah. Or
Hmm.
let's say you are out in the woods and you are searching for the wolf man. Are you going to wait in the classical sense until the night of the full moon? It's like if I know who if I think I know who it is, I'm not going to wait for them to change. You know, I'm going to again tie them up, chain them down. If they start changing, they're gonna blast them.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah, I'm gonna
right
kill,
then.
and I'm gonna have silver bullets. I'm not gonna.
That's right. And I'm gonna
And
be really
understand,
careful.
most of the month, the moon is not full.
That's right. That's right. And I'm gonna be really, really careful in the sense that okay, you tie them down and chain them up, and I wouldn't even be bothered with the thing of I'm going to chop them up or anything. All I do is chop off their head, and every time their head grows back, I'm gonna chop it off again, and I'm gonna keep chopping off their head night long, all night long. It's head chopping, and more head chopping. I
Yes, me
won't
say
chop
yeah.
off their hands because what if their hands grow back? They pull their arm out and then the hand grows back. If they get it
Mm.
unchained. Nope. Hands stay, feet stay. Don't want them to get those things out. I'll just keep chopping off that head over and over again. That's my goal. Till I get me some assistance. If I
But
can't chop the head off, I'll just chop it in half.
you know what's most scary though?
What about?
When you do stuff that you're supposed to do,
Oh my gosh, yeah, and it doesn't work. That's the
like
worst.
Rosemary's Baby or
Yes.
Kolchak the Night Stalker
Hmm.
shows. Like you do logical things, like
Yeah.
Rosemary Baby. Nobody can say that Rosemary acted,
Frivolously.
weird.
Hmm.
You wouldn't do
Hmm.
what she did, right?
Yeah. She's exactly what a normal person would. I'm getting away from these people. Getting away
Yeah.
from this doctor.
And my
Uh,
husband, who I married, I'm married and I
yeah.
love, is going to be on my side and
Right.
make sure these bad things don't happen to me.
Yeah. You would think, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah,
So it's
that's the
like,
worst part.
and
If you do
the
everything
best,
right.
of course, my favorite line is like, Rosemary, you can't go to another doctor. Why can't I? It wouldn't be fair to Dr. Saperstein.
Da-da. Not
Hmm.
fair to Dr. Saperstein.
Said, oh, well, didn't you know? They told me that he's no longer in my network. So,
Yeah. Well, there you go. Well, Dr. Saperstein is no longer in network. That's a good
It's
one.
not
Thank
fair to
you.
yeah.
him, though.
Not fair to Dr. Saperstein for you to go to another
And
doctor
she
for
and
your
she
first
said,
child.
her response was exactly what anyone's response should be.
Yes. Not fair to Dr. Saperstein. Are
What
you
the
crazy?
F are you talking
Yeah,
about?
you crazy maniac. Wow, yeah, that is one of the those films where you do everything right, and you can't get it right because even the people you thought were your allies are
Hmm.
stabbing you in the back. What can you do?
And
Are your
Kolchak the
true
Night Stalker.
allies? These monsters have already gotten their mitts on them. What can you
Kolchak
do?
in the Kolchak series, he's telling the cops, this dude is a vampire. This
Mm-hmm.
dude is a reincarnation of
Mm-hmm.
Jack the Ripper.
Yep.
Yeah, get out of here, man. He ain't none of that.
And the thing is, they won't believe their own eyes. That's the
Hmm.
craziest. In Kolchak the Night Stalker, they see these men, these monsters doing all this crazy stuff, battling 10, 15 men, throwing them, all these places, and it's like, wow, that guy sure was strong. It's like, give it a break.
He jumped from a 10-story building,
Yeah, right.
and then he jumped up and
Jumped
beat
up,
a
started
bunch of
running.
cops. And he
Yeah, it's like,
whooped
come
that.
on, man, come on, man.
Well,
But
no,
yeah,
that's when they come back and say nobody could have survived that. So we're not going to look for him.
yeah,
Yeah, I
that.
don't get. They don't pay me
That.
enough for that. That shit.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, those things, and it's like so. Kolchak should have been like, on second thought,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to bother saying anything to these people because if I have to go out and kill this thing, which I know I will
And he
without their
always
help,
does,
that without their help, I don't want them coming chasing me
and
and
Mm-hmm.
that's
saying
what they
I did
do.
something. So I keep
It's
going to
like
say,
how many times?
but that's why on second thought, I shall say nothing to the cops.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to kill him because they
How,
aren't going to help me. In fact, they're going to come after me and say I did XYZ to this person and make my life hell and my employer's life hell. So no, no. Next time, second thought, I keep mum's the word, and I'll
Mm-hmm.
handle it on my own. That's what you
how
do.
many times? How many times was Kolchak arrested?
Yeah,
Every other
arrested.
episode.
Yeah, yeah. But again, on second thought, mum's the word.
Mm-hmm.
I say nothing. I say not one thing to the cops. Because all they're gonna do is make his life miserable.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of one show in Kolchak, the Night Stalker, where the police were actually helpful.
No, not really. I remember when they had that maniac, that guy who was a Jack the Ripper guy.
Hmm.
It had him in a cell, and he broke out of the jail. It's just like,
Okay, this is not good.
I mean,
You
he
know?
didn't like pick a lock.
Yeah,
He just tore the bars from the walls.
yeah. There you go. So the cops like, well, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
I can't help you on this one. Can't do it. It's kind of crazy, but yeah, those are very good. All the Koshak the Night Stalkers are really great. And again, on second thought, with him, no. Uh, I think everybody has like their favorite monster. I know a lot of people do the what do you call it, werewolf shapeshifters, of that sort. And I would think in the werewolf context, if you think like American Werewolf in London, and of course he tries to solve his own issue, trying to figure out what happened to him. And also, eventually in American Werewolf in London, he is killed by his girlfriend. And the rule, I guess, that they used in the werewolf rule then, which is different from Silver Bullet, in the American Werewolf in London, Someone That Loves You, or in the original werewolf films, also, Someone That Loves You has to be the person that pulls the trigger and kills you. But they didn't do that in Silver Bullet. In Silver Bullet, they just needed Silver Bullet. And I think when they realized, like in Silver Bullet, that the priest was the werewolf, and they waited, and I hope anybody who's seen this already knows Silver Bullet. I'm sorry if I'm spoiling it for you.
Mm-hmm.
But the moment I knew that he was the thing, I'm not waiting. I'm not waiting for him to come for me. I'm going to the church. I'm going to the rectory, and I'm going to yeah, I'm taking care of that.
I'm gonna
Right
kill
Mm-hmm.
him
there,
in the
right
daytime
then and
before the
there.
moon comes. And in reality, it's this. And correct me, all you
Hmm.
astronomy people. Isn't
Hmm.
the moon almost always out?
Yeah, we just can't see it.
Yeah.
So if there's a full moon, it's always a full moon, right?
Well, not a full moon, but it's always
I
out there.
mean,
But the
if
thing
it's a
is,
full
yeah,
moon
right.
for whatever
It's full moon all
number of days,
day. Yeah,
right?
you're right.
It's a
Yeah,
day
okay.
or night. It's still a full
Right,
moon.
right. It's still there.
So should the werewolf like just always like stay a werewolf all the time?
I don't know,
No,
but I'll
because I
tell
think
you
it has
this.
to be on that side of the planet. So if as long as it's on the other side of the planet, you're okay. But as soon as it
Yeah, but
goes,
remember, in Silver Bullet, that minister chased after him in his car. Remember that? And chased him down to that bridge,
Yeah,
and they
yeah,
couldn't get
yeah.
over the
He
bridge
was
because it
still
was
he knew
creaky
he
and we'd have
was a werewolf.
broken through it.
He wasn't like Larry Talbot who like laments. Oh my God,
Right,
he like
and
I'm
he knew who
killing
he
you, man, because
was,
you know who I am.
and that would have been it right then for me. So we get him now. He does not have to turn
Mhm.
to anything. Get him now.
Or just go to the archdiocese, and they would just move him to another another.
Thank you. We're moving to another
Another
parish.
parish, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
we can start his nonsense again. But I'm saying, let's say on second thought, Mr. Bullet, I would not have waited for him to turn. I would have gotten him the next day when he went to his uncle. The next day, and I thought, and Silver Bullet's always so cool when he went to have the silver bullet made by the I guess what I don't know, we call it the silversmith or whatever it was that made the silver bullet. And he was not uh he was a fooled. Oh, I want to make this for my nephew who's really into Lone Ranger. You know what else I do? Silver is a killer werewolf. Yeah, so
Hmm.
this craftsman knew that this is what it was for. It was for killing a werewolf. And I just think once the uncle had the silver bullet, why didn't he just go straight over to where the minister was and take him out? This guy's gonna be coming after your niece and nephew. Take him out now. Especially since the kid already told him, this is the guy who came after me, right?
Hmm.
I don't understand what are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? I'm gonna kill him while he looks like a normal human being that I'm not scared of. Because I might get scared of a werewolf coming at me, lunging at me. But this guy standing across the room, I'm not scared of him and I can take a headshot. You
Hmm.
know, I'm worried about that. So no. That's my on second thought. Let's go get him now. That's my let's not wait for full moon. Let's go get him now. Okay. Anybody else have any other um monsters, ghouls, anything of that ilk that they have uh a plan that always goes wrong, almost always goes wrong.
Well, this one isn't a monster, but it's like this is an audio visual one and stuff. So this is me, okay, and then if I take off my glasses, you have no idea who I am.
Who's
Whoa,
that?
who's that?
Who the hell is this on the show?
What
Yeah,
happened to Cranston?
yeah. Let me see if I can find. Let me see if I can find him. Let me see. Oh, he went that way.
Yeah. But I mean, they have the Superman thing where he's wearing the glasses, not wearing the glasses. But the thing that gets me the most about Superman and Clark Kent is physique. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yeah,
Clark Kent's a
it's
big
almost like
man,
it's
right?
almost
Mm-hmm.
like what is the name of that? What is that in that movie? The Tick. Where
Yeah,
he's like 6'10" and like 350 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who that is.
yeah, with huge shoulders, this narrow waist, this ass that's like two
Mm-hmm.
two rocks sitting next to each other, and thighs that don't quit. I don't know who that guy is. How can this be? I don't know. He looks something like somebody I've seen before, but I just can't. I can't place it.
Why
Well,
is that? Why is this Superman? I mean, in the comics, when Superman's walking around, he's Clark Kent. Is he like George Reeves? He look like everyone else, or is he like wearing these suits that are like two sizes too small, and bulging out of every and he's like taller than everyone else and more muscular than everyone else,
Yeah,
and he's walking around in a just like a 42 regular from Barney's.
mm-hmm.
I don't know. Or maybe it's that when he walks around as Clark Kent, his demeanor is so different that no one would presume that he could be a superhero.
Well,
And he
he
had
did
glasses
it.
on. And he
Well,
has
he did it
glasses on.
before Christian Bale did it as Batman, but
Mhm.
he like Superman always talked like this. But Clark always talked like this, and he was always decided, and he was slumped over, and he was clumsy, and you couldn't imagine him, leaving a tall building in a single bound. So
Hmm.
that's what fooled him.
Yeah, that would be a hard one for me.
Lack of imagination is what fooled me.
Mm,
Yeah, it's like so I mean Clark Kent never put on uh never took off his glasses, right? He never
Yeah,
came up and wiped them or anything like
mm-hmm.
that.
that's why I
So you
said that
say,
was the good thing
yeah,
about
whoa.
the Christopher Reeve, and from what I've seen of the new Superman they're making, the actors actually made a physical difference between uh, Christopher Reeve slouched over and fumbled a lot and
Yeah. But
couldn't talk.
They made him into a doofus.
yeah, but you know what? That's the thing that makes me most angry about Superman and the way that they did it, especially Christopher Reeve. Not the George Reeves version, which I thought was
Mhm.
quite fine, but in Christopher Reeve's version, that he makes Clark Kent into a quote unquote nerd, right?
Mm-hmm.
A
Mhm.
bumbling kind of guy. But that's not how he really acts, right? So Superman, that's not who he really
Mm-hmm.
is. So he basically puts on this visage of a stereotype of a person that is supposed to be, I guess, unattractive and dresses a certain way and talks a certain way. And I found that offensive, you know, that this guy who's supposed to be, Superman, that in order to be unattractive, I will act a certain way because this way is being unattractive. That does that's kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
Why was it offensive?
Because rubbed me the wrong way to be able to say this, to look like this, to act like this is unattractive,
Hmm.
and everyone is supposed to watch this and understand it to be unattractive. It's like if you saw, for instance, we watch Beauty and the Beast, the animated version with Gaston, and he's supposed to be good looking, kind of this brutish kind of guy, but he's a complete and total jerk. But you have people that cannot see beyond his looks,
Hmm.
and he's not a good person, he's bad, but they can't see beyond that. It's like the mistake they made in Angel with the character Skip, who looked like a monster, and at first, you meet Skip, and he's just, a guy who just looks like a monster, but then they fell back into the trap and like, aha, he was a monster, he was involved in this thing. But I thought it was great because he was just Skip at the beginning. He looked scary, but he wasn't.
Well, it reminds me of that skit from Seinfeld, right? When his grandmother is asking, "Do you know where the chemical bank is?"
Yeah, she gets lost in New York, and she's in an alley, and she meets this Puerto Rican guy. She meets him in the alleyway. She's all there by herself, and says, "Do you know how to get to the chemical bank?" He said, "What are you asking me? If I know how to get the chemical bank, what are you asking me?" Well, yeah, you go down here. It used to be over in that corner, but they've moved it, so it's over this other place. You go all the way down there, and when you get there, you go to the front desk. You ask for Mister So and So, and he'll be able to, to kind of get you set up, however you need. So it's really great because this concept, this little old lady walking in this alley, doesn't know what she is, and this supposed, as they like to say on the show, street tough, and she encounters him and asks him, but he's just like, well, yeah, just go down, it's not where it used to be. It's on the other side. You have to go over there, get in there, talk to this person. They will help you. Give us what you're looking for. I love that. That was so
Hmm.
cool. So
Yeah, there were two things they did once. Once was on the Adventures of was it Lois and Clark,
mm,
or the Dean Cain, Terry Hatcher
Yeah.
Superman, and there was the episode where Howie Mandel played. I don't I forget who it was, but he was saying. You can't tell that's him just because of the glasses. I mean, seriously, you can't tell the difference. And the other one was possibly one of the only good things they did in the Green Lantern movie is when he comes and he flies onto on the thing and he's wearing the mask and everything, and she says, "Hal, is that you?" And he says, "I've known you since we were 6 years old. Come on, I've seen you naked before. Come on, So
like I wouldn't know who you are. Okay,
yeah,
that's amazing. Well, guys, so we're about at our time. And so before we end, is anything else, any other incidences that we want to raise with regard to this on second thought?
well, the only thing I was going to mention is they said that, and I think this was once on Siskel and Ebert, and they were saying that when you go to a movie, that you want to see the characters who seem to be at least as smart as you are. You don't want them to, do things like, that's totally out of character or
Mhm.
too coincidental. It's like one thing I always wondered about is if you had stopped at a traffic light and somebody ran up and flashed a badge at you and told you, "I need to confiscate your car, police," would you give it to them or would you drive off?
I would drop
And
off.
and the second thing is, how come that every car that you get is in perfect working condition and has a full tank of gas?
Yeah,
I wish that was the case with me.
unless you're being chased by a monster, and when the
Yeah,
gas suddenly it just drains out of your car.
yeah.
Hmm.
The gas is drained out, and all of a sudden it can't crank. I'm trying to
Hmm.
can't crank the car, can't start it up. spot on my starter or whatever. This
Yeah, and don't
the
forget this.
alternator's dead. Yeah.
Remember this, Penelope. The especially the white woman falling down there by being chased.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah. Why am I'm running for the monster and I'm falling.
Because I wear 6-inch heels every
Yes.
place. Every time I see a monster, it just make me want to put on some
Really high.
red bottom shoes.
Yeah, red bottom high heels. I gotta go for that look. That's my go-to move, Mister. Yeah, that is a problem. Yeah, I would definitely put the
But at the
second
same
thought
time,
on second thought,
but
when
yeah,
monsters come around, I should take all my high heels, put them away, and perhaps get
Hmm.
my boots, my chunky
yeah, but
heels and
don't you
my
admire the movies where the women have the high heels or whatever on, and they take those things off and run like hell.
that's right. Take them off and run.
Well, the
'Cause
opposite of that though was in the first Jurassic World movie, whatever it was, after Chris Pratt tells Bryce Dallas Howard that she is cannot walk around in this marshy ground with dinosaurs running around wearing those heels, and she refuses to take them off. And in the very end, when she has to outrun the T Rex, she's outrunning the T Rex in high heels.
yeah. Well, some people, can run in high heels. I just don't happen to be one of them.
Mm.
But I would say, I have a good friend who was like that, who she was short and she always wore heels. And then we went to we were at a event, we had to go hiking. So she bought herself a pair of sneakers to do the hiking. But she had worn heels for so long, high boots like that. Her arches were just that was it. She could not walk. They had to like two guys had to carry her back down
Mm.
that mountain that we were on because she could not walk. I mean, sure, just she was so used to wearing heels, she could not wear the flat shoes.
Yeah.
So I would
Yeah.
say if you are running for the monsters and you are used to wearing heels, I would say if you're gonna wear high heels, get some high heel boots with a nice chunky heel on it, so you can,
Mhm.
be on the, be really uh, grounded when you're taking off, because you don't get your your little stiletto heel stuck in something and you can't get out of there. So wear the things to push your arches up, but definitely get some shoes that got some traction, some
Well,
vibrant
I
soles.
heard Penelope that the low batons are actually good shoes to run in.
Oh, okay. Well, the one thing I did know about the Louboutins is that they're made for people who stay on their feet a long time. They look like high heels, but they're actually platform shoes.
Mm.
So they give support, to your arches, because his mother was a showgirl, and that's why he made them.
Oh, okay.
That they are actually platform shoes and not high heels. And I thought
Still
it was,
not optimal though to me.
I'm still not going to run in them because I break my ankles. If I'm doing
Mhm.
high, the high heels or high platforms, I'm going to break my ankles trying to run in them.
I just remembered there was a commercial that was taking spoof on the horror shows, and there's one sane woman in all the thing. Look, there's a car with lights on, so we know that it's running. Let's go there. And they go, no, we're gonna go run in the forest.
Oh no, we're going to hide behind
Mhm.
these
Oh
chains,
no, yeah,
hanging
hide behind the
chainsaws.
chainsaws.
Mhm.
And she looks at them, goes in the car, and takes off.
It's like, all
Yeah,
right,
Okay, you guys die. I'm gone.
yeah, and it's 2025, right?
hmm?
Does anybody in their right mind pick up hitchhikers anymore? Does anybody hitchhike?
No, I
No, we
don't.
don't hitchhike. We have computers for that. It's called Uber and Lyft.
Yeah, the one I liked was some nonsense I saw on I don't know if it wasn't TikTok or it was something. And the guys, this woman, I guess, guy's dressed as a woman, it's like sitting there, and it's like spatters of blood on him. And the other self, as a guy, says, "You know what? Aren't you scared to have picked up a hitchhiker in your car? I could be a serial killer." I said, "No, I'm not scared. I mean, what are the odds two serial killers in the same car?"
Mhm.
I thought that was hilarious. Yeah. Two serial killers in the same car.
Well, there's this great Bud Light commercial where this guy picks up a hitchhiker, and the hitchhiker is wearing like the ski mask and everything, and has a machete and everything like that and everything, and the other person is telling not to pick him up. So this guy picks up a second hitchhiker, who is a guy standing there with a chainsaw, and then the guy with the machete and the hockey mask says he has a chainsaw, So
Yeah, really. Like, come on. Yeesh, I love that. That's good. That's good comedy. I like it. All right, but like I said, we're about at the time. So, any special announcements, shout outs, celebrations, etc.
I want to wish a happy birthday to my niecey, Sarani. I can't remember how old she turned, but you never say a lady's age anyway. But she's the one who's my world traveling wonderful niece who goes
All
to
right.
like Japan every other semester, and so I don't know where she is right now. But happy birthday, Sarani.
All right. Well, happy birthday. Anybody else? Any celebrations? Any events coming up? I know we're sliding up quickly on Valentine's Day and trying to figure out what we're going to be doing here in the other hood. I know Valentine's Day falls on a Friday. We're here on a Saturday. So we'll be figuring out in the next, couple of days what that's going to look like here. So with that said, thank you very much for joining us. We have had a lovely, wonderful time on our On Second Thoughts. We'll be back here again in a week. So take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful remainder of your weekend and have a very productive week. Take care and good night.
Good
Oh,
night.
and don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah,
Like,
do that. Like and
subscribe and share.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.